My only regret is I wish I had figured it out when I was younger. You know, no one ever told me that discipline was something you could develop. I thought it was something people were born with. And it's the foundation of everything. It's the foundation of being a good parent. It's the foundation of being a good husband or wife. It's the foundation of making money. It's the foundation of fitness. It's the core principle of achievement and fulfillment and success in every area of your life. And the people who don't have it, they make up all these excuses as to why their life ended up the way that it ended up, when in reality, they just couldn't make the decisions in the short term that they needed to make to get where they wanted to go. And so they didn't.
Don't follow what most people do because you don't want the results that most people get. The average person is obese, likely to be divorced, and has less than 1K in the bank. It feels safe to do what everyone else is doing, but it's actually a terrible decision.
It's like the best way to guarantee to not have the life that you want is to do what everyone else is doing. Unless you want what everyone else has, which no one does.
This is why, I've been stressing this idea of personal responsibility. It's like, well, personal responsibility is to compete with yourself, is to be slightly better than yourself the next day.
Yes.
And it better in some way that you can actually manage. And that's humility. It's right. Like, well, I'm a flawed person. I've got all my problems. Could I be as good as person X? It's like not the right question. The right question is, could you be slightly better tomorrow than your currently flawed self? And the answer to that is, if you have enough humility to set the bar properly low, then you could be better tomorrow than you are today. Because what you also have to do is you have to say, well, here's all my flaws and my insufficiencies, and the best that someone that flawed and insufficient could do to improve and actually do it is this. And that's not worth going out in the street and celebrating with placards, It's like, well, this is why I tell people to clean their room. So you're not going to brag to someone that you did that. But someone as insufficient as you might be able to manage it. And that means you actually are on the pathway to self-improvement and you're transcending your former self. And you might say, well, what's the right way of being in the world, if there is such a thing? And it's not acting according to a set of rules. It's attempting continually to transcend the flawed thing that you currently are. And what's so interesting about that is that the meaning in life is to be found in that pursuit.
You have to be real about your ability to compete. Are you the best? If you say you're the best, then where are the results? If the results don't show you're the best, then guess what? You ain't the fucking best. Which means you need to focus all of your attention, all of your effort, all of your mental capacity on becoming the best, which you can't do when you're hungover or stoned.
Whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, God damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something and to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
You got to keep working. Your time's going to come. Trust me. You got to work. Your time is going to happen. You're here for a reason. But you got to be ready, because if you're not, it's on you.
And it's the consistency of the work, which I feel like a lot of parents are missing today because we're not teaching that to our kids. We tend to say like kids don't want to do the work, but in reality, it's when we're failing them because we're not leading them the right way and teaching them, how to fish, you know what I mean? And so like the consistency of work, Monday, get better. Tuesday, get better. Wednesday, get better, right? And you do that over a period of time, not like 1 month or 2 months. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then you can get to where you want to go.
Every single person that I know that is incredibly successful in a balanced way and has a good perspective on it elects to do very hard things regularly. It humbles them. It reminds them that they're just mortal. And it also means that if the entire mainstream media apparatus tries to come down on top of you, let's say, just as a hypothetical, let's say that occurs, that you can deal with it because you know that you've dealt with 1,000 disgusting kettlebell workouts followed by a cold tub or whatever. Right. And then the performance without a purpose thing is from David's new book as well. I found that very interesting because a lot of the time people need an excuse to perform. They need a race to be working toward, a goal, a holiday, a photo shoot, a wedding, and that is what drives them forward. And that's not nothing. That's an incredibly powerful, potent motivator.
Yeah.
But if you can manage to perform without that, that's real power, because it means that not only are you going to choose your suffering, but you're going to continue to hit close to your maximum performance with no finish line, no crowd celebrating your completion, no glory, no nothing.
The whole accountability mirror,
that I talk about and can't hurt me, every morning I woke up, I had a real conversation with that dirty mirror. And every day, the same answer came back to me. Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't? And so every day I kept saying that. And before I knew it, 2.5 months later, I lost the weight and I was going to Navy SEAL training.
I think people should use their pain more. And if they don't have enough pain, then one, maybe that's fine and you're a dreamer and that's okay. But I will tell you that a word that I read in my 6-month journey between when I wanted to quit and when I actually quit, there are entrepreneurs and there are wantrepreneurs. And I was like, and it was like, wantrepreneurs are people who read these books and don't do anything. And I was just like, I don't want to be one. I was like, I am one of these right now. And it just felt so powerless. And I think that my entire life has been a lot of trying to have power. And I mean that in the true sense of just being able to direct influence in events. I've wanted to have more power to protect myself, protect the people I care about, etc. And I felt very powerless.
Champions do daily what everybody do occasionally. Everybody else does. You just do it daily. You're not.
Yeah, we do.
You're not extraordinary. You just do the ordinary extra. That's it. You. That's what makes you, separates you.
Right.
Every day you come on, you do this phone tap every day, but you just do it a little extra. That's it.
Like the entire show,
I could do a phone tap.
Right.
But I'm not gonna do it every day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be extra with it.
Right.
I'm not gonna dig deeper.
Right.
Like when that lady's on the phone and she's saying this, you're gonna take her one more step.
Yeah.
That's it.
We live in a world that we want to be as comfortable as we can. And we wonder why we have no growth. We wonder why when the smallest thing in our life gets difficult, we wonder why we cower and we run away. Our whole life is set up that way. Our whole life is set up in the path of least resistance. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to feel discomfort. So the whole time we're living our lives in a very comfortable area. There's no growth in that. How you gain mental toughness, how you become the person you want to be, is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face. If you constantly run away from things that you don't want to face, how is there growth? How is there mental toughness? I can give you a class all day long about self-talk, visualization, eat an elephant one bite at a time. But if you're never putting yourself in a situation to actually practice these things, you're never going to grow. I can't put you out there we're all going through a battle in our mind. A warrior is not a person that carries a gun. The biggest war you're ever going through is right between your own ears. It's in your mind. We're all going through a war in our mind, and we have to callous our mind to fight that war and to win that war.
Listen, dude, you are in a competition. When you're in business, you are in the biggest competition that there is. When you're creating content and you're trying to be the best content creator, you're in a competition. The nature of human existence is competition, whether it be your personal life, there's probably other people that were competing for your spouse. Whether it be your business life, there's certainly other people that are competing for your job. What's the nature of the Bible and church? To be a better person. That's a competition with yourself. Okay, so this idea that there's no competition and that nothing's a competition is a faulty bullshit idea that's put out by people who want to opt out of competing. They want to say, hey man, I can just float through life and everything will be cool and I'll be peaceful. And what they don't understand is that, yeah, that might work today. You can tell yourself that today. You can tell yourself that tomorrow. But eventually you find yourself in the same position that you're in, and everybody else has progressed because everybody else understands that it is.
The greatest version of you demands that you are extreme. I can tell you this, that every great person I know has this extreme personality, this intense, passionate desire to cut out negativity, to constantly lean into the sides of their comfort zone, to keep the promises to themselves, even when you don't feel like doing things, by the way. There's gonna be plenty of times where you don't feel like waking up, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like getting your workout in, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like drinking your 30 ounces of water, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like reading that book, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like making that sales call, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like eating clean, but you do it anyway, because that is what greatness demands of us. And if you are willing to lean into the sides of your comfort zone, if you are willing to become that pebble that creates the ripple and inspires others. That is how together we change the world, my friends.
The whole universe is change, and life itself is but what we deem it. Life itself is but what we deem it. The 8 most profound words in all of philosophy. What he means is that things are going to happen. You are going to have experiences in life. Almost all of the important impacts of how those experiences change you are going to be the story that you tell yourself about what that experience means.
That's when a lot of stuff started clicking, man. I started watching those instructors on the side. Because, you know, there's 3 shifts. There's 8 instructors, 3 shifts. Because, you know, the guys going through Hell Week, they're up all day and all night for 130 hours. This is the promised land of mental hardening for me. I love this place. And you have the instructors who you know, they've been there, done that. Now they're instructing you. So they do their 8-hour shift. They have their parkas on. It's usually cold, coffee, drinking their coffee. And they're beating the crap out of us. And when I started realizing, I started playing mind games. And I was like, you know what? I bet these are looking at us, judging themselves about when they were going through Hell Week. About, let me see, I'm looking at Goggins right now. I was better than him. I was better than that guy. I was better than that over there. And I was like, okay, you gotta judge me, right?
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
Yes.
Because you need to have a hierarchy of improvement. You need to be aiming for something. And that means you're going to be lesser than people who've already attained along that dimension.
Yes.
And that can give rise to envy. So the question is, who should you defeat in the final analysis? And the answer is, you should defeat your former self. You should be constantly trying to do that. And you're the right control for yourself too, because you're the one who's had all your advantages and disadvantages. And so if you want to compete fairly with someone, then you should be competing with you.
You've made no progress. None. You never moved. You might even be further from your goal than you were. Why did you let that happen? Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul. Think about it and write about it and talk about it and hang it up on your wall. But most important, do something about it. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it. Do it. Do that little piece. Make it happen. Because that goal isn't going to achieve itself. It's all on you.
There have been so many times in my life where I knew I needed to do something, and then I filled all this extra time not doing that thing. And then the moment I did it, I was like, wow, that took way less time than I thought it was going to take. And not only that, it took way less time than it took me to delay to actually get to this point. And if I had only started with just doing what I was supposed to do, I could have done 4 or 5 other things that I was also supposed to do by this exact same point. And so thinking about it from that perspective, I've tried to eliminate as much time between I think I should do this thing and beginning doing it. And I think you get this positive reinforcement cycle that occurs every time you start. I call it pulling the thread. It's like, I just need to start pulling the thread. And then all of a sudden what feels really unknown becomes very tangible. And you're like, oh, I understand the 6 problems I have to solve to do this big thing. But now I know the problems, and then it feels like you can wrap your arms around it, and then you can start taking it one bite at a time.
Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there. Grab a buddy of yours. Say, man, me and you are gonna do this together. And you're gonna be on my ass if I start slacking. I'm gonna be on your ass if I start slacking. And I'll never accept mediocre again. I'm always gonna give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. That's all that will ever find peace in. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days. If there's potential inside of you, which you know it's there, but you're too scared to tell anyone else about it, and you go on and on, get older and older and older and older, and the windows of opportunity start to close, and you knew it could have been given birth to, but you never did it. That fact that you had the ability to do something and you're too weak to turn the key and start the engine on it is a greater disappointment and a greater burden to carry than any of this physical sweat equity or pain in the gym or sacrifice. All that is just nothing compared to a life where you're burdened by regret, guys.
Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. So remember that. Are you done? This is all part of being a leader. Being a leader sucks. You do everything in life that you do not want to do. You are unhappy 90% of your life. But that means that other people are eating because of you. They're living because of you. They're achieving because of you. So are you really in that bad of shape? So make a decision tonight. Do you want to be a leader, or do you want to be that person who just bags it and does their own shit?